there's going to be no Waukesha County portion of this.
No.
All right, we're going to have a planned public hearing first tonight, but we'll start off with a roll call, Jane, if you would.
Ed Nelson,
Present.
Chad Szymanski,
Here.
Jane Stadler, present. Becky Plotecker,
Here.
Joe Osterman,
Here.
Brian Oliphant is excused, Mark Meyer is excused, Clerk Dan Green,
Here.
and Attorney Kevin Clark.
Here.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, Jane. All right, I'm going to open up the first public hearing at 6:31 p.m. here at the Lisbon Town Hall to solicit public comments on the conditional use permit for a major grading permit for Michael Mankey on behalf of owners Kevin and Colleen Shanahan for the property located at West 252 North 4885 Aberdeen Drive, Pewaukee, Wisconsin 53072, tax key LSBT 0276049. Is there anyone here tonight that wishes to speak on this public hearing? If you would step up and state your name and address.
My name is Kelly Farrell, and I live just to the north, so I'm W252 N4915 Aberdeen Drive. And I just want to state a concern, and I wanted it on the record, because it is a major grading change. When we first built there, there's some underground water that comes and it flows down, so to the north, downhill. And we had some issues with water where we had to do some major changes with our stuff and put in some drain tile that flows to the west, to the back of the property. And then we also had an issue when the water came through a March, oh my gosh, it must be like 2010. The ground was frozen, but the water came over the top, and we had a huge retaining wall come down that was a whole, like 2 levels, a story tall, because the water had gotten behind there and pushed it down. So my concern is just I want to make sure that there's no additional water coming through. The steps that we took since then, so we've had that whole wall completely taken apart and redone, and we put the drain tile in. I just want to make sure that with those grading changes, we don't have additional water coming our way, because we know that that has already been an issue. And I know some of the plantings have come out that way, and there is probably a berm that's coming out that's there right now. That's between the properties. And also, my neighbor that's just to the north of me, she also gets water that flows from that. So there's something that comes down the hill and kind of flows due north, and then it goes a little bit west and then down the back of the property. And she gets a lot of water, too, that stands back there. So we just want to make sure we're not getting additional water than what we're already getting. So that's it. And Kevin showed me, but I wanted to make that a statement so that they look at it. Okay.
Thank you. Does anyone else wish to speak at this public hearing? All right. No one else? All right, we'll close the public hearing then at 6:34. And we'll open up the Plan Commission meeting here at the Town Hall at 6:34. We've already done roll call. Item 2 is comments from citizens present pertaining to any items on the agenda tonight. Does anyone wish to comment on any item on the agenda? All right, no comments. Item 3 is discussion and necessary action on the June 13th, 2019 Plan Commission public hearing and meeting minutes. We have the minutes in front of us. Does anyone have any corrections, changes, or is anyone ready to make a motion on these minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of June 13th, 2019.
Moved by Chad to approve. Is there a second?
I will second that.
Second by Ed Nelson. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimous. All right, item 4, new business. A, discussion and necessary action on the request from Brad and Brooke Willman for the property located at North 93 West 25447 Tomahawk Drive, tax key LSBT 0157.138.001 for a certified survey map and recommendation to the town board of the same. Is the applicant here? You want to come on up? How you doing tonight? It's up to you.
Yeah, there's 2 chairs.
There's 2 chairs.
And they're more comfortable.
We'll turn the hot light on soon.
Yeah.
All right. We do not have our planner here tonight, so We're going to go over some of his notes. Did you get, you've received all of his notes ahead of time? You got Waukesha
Yeah.
County's notes and everything?
Waukesha County, and, yeah, I've been in contact, and, it's, at the start of this, Dan Lindstrom, he made comments that he likes the CSM, because they cleaned up a lot of things that have taken place over history, so.
Okay, I'm just going to go over some of his notes that he's got here. So on the CSM, it's to clarify what's represented by the W symbol. It's assumed to be wells located immediately southeast of the house on lot 1 and southwest of the house on lot 2. All symbols used in the CSM shall be shown in the legend. The CSM is to show exact length and bearing of the center lines for Tomahawk Drive and Bittersweet Drive, along with the type and elevation of any existing street pavement and any legal established centerline elevations. CSM is also to show location, size, and invert elevation of any existing sanitary or storm sewers, culverts, and drain pipes, and location of manholes, catch basins, hydrants, power and telephone poles, and location and size of any existing water and gas mains within the exterior boundaries of the CSM or immediately adjacent thereto. It is to show the locations of existing septic systems and driveways for both lots. The surveyor's seal, signature, and date must be affixed to all sheets on the final revised CSM, and the applicant shall include the same revision date on all sheets of the final revised CSM. Yeah, the applicant shall add the environmental corridor overlay to note 1 on sheet 1 of the CSM. The northern portion of lot 2 includes areas covered by an environmental corridor. The CSM shall show the limits of this area and label this area with the following statement: approximate primary environmental corridor limits as designated by Sewer Pack and shown on the Waukesha County GIS mapping site. The applicant shall also place the following note on the CSM: the PEC boundary shown on the certified survey map is an approximate boundary taken from the Waukesha County GIS mapping site. If a future building/structure is proposed to be constructed in close proximity to the PEC, it may be necessary for the PEC to be field delineated. Okay. The applicant shall add the basement and restriction shown on the attached Exhibit B. Shall also tie two separate stakes to at least two separate section corners of sheet 1 of the CSM. The applicant shall amend the last paragraph of the surveyor's certificate on sheet 2 to read that I have complied with Chapter 236.34 of Wisconsin State Statutes, Waukesha County Department of Parks and Land Use Planning, the Waukesha County Shoreline and Floodplain Subdivision Control Ordinance, and the Land Division and Development Ordinance of the Town of Lisbon. The Town of Lisbon Land Division and Development Ordinance requires that the location of the existing access driveways and the location and use of all existing structures within 50 feet of the CSM to be shown on the CSM. There may be a shed to the south of the proposed Lot 2 and a shed to the west of proposed Lot 1 that at a minimum shall be shown. Approval is subject to Waukesha County review and approval and the Village of Richfield review and approval. And then additional standard conditions provided to the Plan Commission. We've got all those. We won't go over all of those tonight. And then additional signatures for David and Sue Mikuleki, sorry. All right. And then did you get all of them from Waukesha County?
I did.
Okay. You guys want to go over all of them from Waukesha County? The board should have all those.
Some of them are leaky too.
Yeah, quite a few of them. Okay. So do we need to go over them all, Kevin, in here?
Mr. Chairman, I think we're fine as long as the applicant has received them, has reviewed
Okay.
them, and there's nothing further from the Plan Commission.
Not that I don't mind talking, but
Yeah. Whether a continuation, Mr. Chairman, of what you just read, correct?
I'm sorry?
A continuation of what you just
The
read.
rest of them were the the standard conditions, which we apply in all of them. Is that what you
Sure.
mean?
Okay.
So any questions or comments from the board on anything at this time?
No, not on my part.
Anything else from the applicant?
The engineering firm's already working on the proposed, or the recommended amendments
Okay.
to the CSM.
All right. Anything else from staff?
If there's a time, maybe next week or tomorrow, that you want to stop in so that you can sign the application as well. I see that was one of the contingencies from the planner. So just so that both of your names are on the application,
Sure.
just, okay.
Come down.
Yeah, we'll have it set aside for you, and then you
Okay.
can stop by and just sign it.
Okay.
All right. If there's nothing else, is anyone ready to make a motion on this item?
I will. I would move that the request from Brad and Brooke Willman for the property located at North 93 West 25447 Tomahawk Drive with an LSBT of 0157.138.001 for a certified survey map and recommendation to the town board of the same, with also particular attention given to administrator/town planner recommendations.
All right, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Jane, second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Item B, discussion and necessary
Folder
action.
will get bigger. The folder will get bigger.
Yeah, not everything's in there. Didn't expect it, but.
Sure.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Item B, discussion and necessary action on the request from Michael Mankey on behalf of the property owners Kevin and Colleen Shanahan for the property located at West 252 North 4885 Aberdeen Drive, tax key LSBT 0276.049, for a conditional use for a major grading permit and recommendation to the town board of the same. How you doing?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
All right. You've received all the comments and everything, and you got the engineering comments. We have obviously one comment tonight about the water situation with the neighbor. So we want to make sure that that's addressed. And I don't remember what's your name from Con. That's Kelly. That's her here right now.
Oh,
Hi, Jackie. Sorry, Jackie. It's all right. From the water perspective, as far as the neighbor's concerned,
The natural drainage or the original drainage did direct some towards her lot at the northwest corner of your lot previously.
Correct.
But their grading plan isn't gonna send any more substantial water that direction. I think they're actually gonna retain some on their property and they have some more infiltration than they had previously had. They're gonna level some out.
so there won't be any more water going that way from this.
I don't believe so based on the backyard grading.
Right, I would concur with you, the watershed remains the same, nothing gets altered. If anything, it does slow down because it's not as steep.
Right,
So it should infiltrate in the major lawn area
right.
a little bit more rapidly.
I would agree.
The one question that she posed would be this berm over here,
Right,
and that will get smaller, but it will remain. Client requests more lawn in that area.
okay.
Large spruce trees were removed, at least some evergreens planted. There still will be a berm. There is a swale on the backside, so that will remain.
So are you just gonna extend the berm the same height, approximate the same height?
It's really
Similar?
a mound and boss planting bed. It's lower than this table.
Okay. Yeah, then I don't think anything substantial would be directed onto her property.
Nothing changes in the watershed.
Right.
Okay, because with our code is, we can't put any more than is already going. So I mean, that would be the question. There's no more water going to be coming off the property than is
No.
currently, correct?
No
Okay.
additional water.
All right. Any questions from the board on this?
In looking at the map and facing the home, the area that's going to be, quote, built up is within a square that is, are we looking here?
Yep, it's
Right in this area?
coming down.
Okay, all right. Because right now it is not bermed, but it's uneven. And the berm you were talking about, is that this one, sir? Okay, all right. So the general idea, because I see there's an in-ground pool, and the general idea then is to provide an area, a play area, or a mini, I'm going to guess soccer? Who knows?
Whatever they want.
Whatever
they
there's 9
want.
kids.
There's 9 kids and number 10 is on the way. So
Yeah.
they'd like a level play area in the backyard versus the front.
Yeah, are they going to put a tower up to watch all that? Never mind.
That's out of my.
Out of your room. But, okay, so substantially then, this is the area we're talking about. This, and it's the citizen that spoke to us this evening, it sounded like, and of course, I'm speculating, that they're dealing with a spring, possibly.
One would think so, although I've never seen the groundwater that's spoken of. and I've never noticed any walking this property at all.
Our substantial flooding problems occur in early spring in this community, usually in March, when the ground is frozen. This year particularly, we had a problem because we had a lot of ice storms, so there was no place for the water to go. And so her concern is the town's concern, but you were saying that this won't move additional water towards her property, because I'm going to assume her property has to be over here. Or
North.
Up north,
Yeah.
North, okay. Yeah, I'm,
behind the berm.
okay, behind the berm. Because I wasn't
Is that
finding
right?
my north, south, east, west on my map, sorry.
Oh.
But, okay,
Yeah, it's right down here.
all right.
It's hidden in the corner.
Oh, no wonder I couldn't see it. Do we have spy glasses? Anyway, all right. So, if the commission is okay with that, because that obviously is a major concern. We've had problems in the past, especially again in March and April. Unless we get a 5-6 inch rain event.
Yeah, if I can reiterate, not increasing the amount of water.
Correct.
The water flow should be slower, even with frozen ground, because there'll be more level areas. It hopefully will pond a little before it just all runs. And I'm not sure the retaining walls they speak of, but would have to be somewhat parallel with the house here, if you have an aerial. So retaining walls and all that would be in this area, and the water, the natural water flow, you can see where I've shown it. That's well back in the property. It's a wooded area.
Mm-hmm. Where it says woods, okay.
Yeah, if you look at I drove down the entire block, very steep hill going down to the north. Every one of those properties has woods in the back. I would think, I don't know what that is, Sussex. I don't know what that subdivision's master grading plan is, but I can make the assumption, looking at the age of those trees, that has never been altered through time.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go way down at the end, there's actually retention pond down at the last property.
Okay.
So, not changing, not looking to change anything with that, in regards to that.
In the portfolio we received, last question, in the portfolio we received, they're called metered drains. Mitered, I'm
Mitered.
sorry. Thank you. Is that the way that's pronounced? Are those going to be included in the?
Yes, so right now there is ADS drain tile, which is the black flexible tubing
Mhm.
that is existing from the downspouts by a previous contractor. We will be using smooth wall PVC. We'll be taking them to the front swale, which will only help actually one of these exits towards the neighbor right now. We'll be taking that downspout at the northeast corner of the house, and that'll all be running to the front slope.
Okay.
That's a grassy slope, and then we use the miter drain as an exiting point, which slows the flow and also keeps animals from coming in. So it's a kind of a nice thing. It's a little bit of a maintenance nuisance in that if you don't have gutter guards or something and a lot of trees, you need to clean it periodically, but we're also doing maintenance there so we can control that.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like quite the project. But obviously, since we talk about outflow of water, volume of water off of hard surfaces, which is increasingly as we become more suburbanized, is an issue for our community. But okay, thank you. No
Okay.
further questions.
All right, Chad?
Just water is my only concern.
Okay. Do you feel like it's been addressed?
I'm not a water expert by any means, and besides, I know it flows downhill. I mean, is it worth having our town engineer look at it?
That is our town engineer.
Right here. I'm
Yes.
sorry. Chad Samansky, how you doing?
They're not used to, they're used to Don and
I'm sorry.
Mitch. It's fine.
Civil engineering.
Okay, then I'm okay with it.
Yeah, The way that they're regrading that area.
And
where
it's
they want
tough
the
to tell
flat
from
surface-
pictures
Right.
as
and-
well.
And the one that he's looking at doesn't have the proposed contours on it. He's slowing down the grade there, so it's gonna have a slower overland flow, which
Okay.
gives it more chance to infiltrate. It's not gonna flow off property.
Okay.
And then the same with where the drain tiles are being replaced with the smooth wall, it'll hold more in, and it's gonna direct it out to the east, and then into the natural, must be a natural ditch there,
Oh, yes.
right?
It's quite a ditch.
Are you bringing fill in or just working with what's there?
We are bringing fill in, thus the reason for the major grading.
How much approximately are you bringing in?
So what we'd be doing is cutting on we're cutting on the high side, being careful not to damage the oak trees that are up here. And then we're filling on the low end, and there'll be a 3-foot high retaining wall there. And we may bring in 5 quad axles, maybe 100 cubic yards to level things out on the low end possibly. It's, we don't do, at this level of residential design, we don't tend to do CAD, cut, and fill. It's a little bit of an approximate, that's the budget, that's in the contract. We're trying to. we're not
So are
holding-
these
we're
drain
not
tiles
holding
gonna
anything-
compensate for the low areas?
What's that?
Will the drain tile that you're installing compensate for the low areas? Because if you fill that in, obviously right now, water probably goes to that area.
So-
Now you fill that in, the water's
So
gotta go
right
somewhere
now,
else.
if I can give you a graphic, if you come out the back of the house, the hill's like this.
Okay.
What we're gonna do is cut there, level here, and then there'll be a retaining wall on this,
Okay.
like that. So we're gonna level our
Okay.
platform, and it'll be slower, as Jackie said. When it rounds the corner, it will be again at the existing slope.
Okay.
But we're actually slowing it down. And there'll be no drain tile in that area. The drain tile is
Strictly
really
for the
conduits
downspouts?
For the conduits, the downspouts in the house and the sump connection.
Okay.
So, yeah, this is all surface drainage and it will be slower.
Okay. That's all I have. Thank you.
Jane?
I think the two of you have covered most of my questions, but Ed, there are a lot of underground streams, like Mountain Shadows has got a bunch of those, and this, it sounds like this might be a possibility in this area, that is occurring.
And I'm not sure the soil profile, like when their house was being
Yeah.
dug, let's say, but there could be a sand layer, there could be a lot of things. And this,
Yeah.
there is a large hillside here that starts many homes up and flows down.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
It could very well be groundwater or spring.
Okay. Becky?
My only concern was the water, and if the town engineer is fine with it, then I'm fine with it.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, Jackie, there was a number of conditions with respect to the approval too. Mitch went over, he submitted a letter. The only thing that I would recommend is that those also be included in the motion and.
in the motion.
Yeah.
Right, they were just, the typical stormwater, and erosion control methods used in any project. And then we just asked that somebody contact us prior to construction, just to verify that they're installed. And then being that, the neighbor is concerned, I would for sure make sure you have a couple of ditch checks going towards their property, and then what I'm not taking both of those ditches.
And my client, Kevin, has approached the neighbor as I requested that he do. And I will make sure that not only I introduce myself, the project manager will make sure that we are
Okay.
all on good terms.
All right.
Now, this is an amazing project.
Anything else from staff on this?
Yeah, it is.
No. No? And any other questions from the board?
No.
Is anyone ready to make a motion on this item?
I would. I will move the request from Michael Mankey on behalf of the property owners Kevin and Colleen Shanahan for the property located at West 252, North 4885, Aberdeen Drive, with an LSBT of 0276.049 for a conditional use for a major grading permit and recommendation to town board of the same, with attention to town planner's recommendations, also with attention to a letter dated June 25th, 2019 from Conkle I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Yeah.
Engineering, how is it pronounced?
Kunkel Engineering.
Kunkel Engineering. Yeah. Group. He also made
Condition?
made aware to all parties. It's a conditional use major grading permit for West 252, North 4885 Aberdeen Drive.
Be approved.
Be approved.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second.
And that is condition upon the engineering
Right.
letter. And the
And
second is
that's
good with that.
recommended to the
Yes.
town board.
Yes.
Yep.
Understood.
Okay. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item C is discussion necessary action on the request from the town of Lisbon for the property located at North 63 West
Nice meeting you.
22039 County Road F, tax key LSBT 0241.999 for a two-lot certified survey map and recommendation to the town board of the same. So we have this is the Leeds property, and we are trying to do a two-lot certified survey map. This did go to the JPC last night. It was a 3-3, no action. But we are asking if the Plan Commission approve this. Are there any questions on it?
No?
Anything you read?
No, I mean, we're simply, okay, never mind.
Okay. Anything?
No.
I'll make the motion that we approve the two-lot certified survey map at North 63 West 22039 County Road F, tax key LSBT 0241.999. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Chad. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimous. All right. Item D, discussion and necessary action on the request for Jason and Michelle Frederick for the property located at West 263 North 6314 Ridge Drive, tax key LSBT 0257.995.001 for a two-lot certified survey map and recommendation to the town board of the same. This was a previously approved CSM, and just a change of ownership.
Yeah, so if you remember, John Matter came forward with a CSM. He had a 10-acre parcel, and he was splitting it into two 5-acre parcels. He also did a rezone with that for that property. The rezone went through, but the CSM went through all the stages, but just was not filed with the Register of Deeds. Since then, that owner has sold the property to the Fredericks. They're looking to do the same exact thing and use this same CSM. So instead of kind of putting her through the ringer again, just using the same exact CSM that they had on file to move forward with this request. And just for the record, I did contact Casey Fluitt from Sussex. This is in the JPC area, to see if she would just do a quick review, make sure it's the same CSM, and then move it forward. So with that, I would recommend approval of the two-lot CSM.
Any comments or questions from the board?
None.
Does anyone want to make a motion on this item?
I will, unless Dan will. I would move that the request for Jason and Michelle Frederick for the property located at West 263, North 6314 Ridge Drive with an LSBT of 0257.995.001 for a two-lot certified survey map recommendation to the board of the same.
Be approved.
Be approved.
I'll second.
All right, made and seconded by Chad. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimous. All right, item E, discussion and necessary action on the Carrick Homes, Inc. Developers Agreement and related exhibits and recommendation to the town board of the same.
Gina did have a memo in there, but she just wanted me to reiterate that it has been reviewed by Kunkel. It's been reviewed by our attorney, Tom Schmitzer, and all of staff, the planner, everyone. So they've all put in their comments, and it's ready to go. So that's all I have.
Are there any comments or questions inside the agreement? I heard it was one of the easiest ones we've done.
Yeah.
They didn't ask for anything to be changed at all, really. Maybe
No.
a couple small items.
Pretty quick.
The, Mr. Chairman, I did have one question, quick question, and this would apply to any subdivision. The storm drains, et cetera, because I know it's very important for Haas Farms that those retainment ponds work. We know that during construction, there's a lot of debris, mud on the roadbeds, and in a heavy rain, that's going to get washed into the, the system. We're not responsible for cleaning that, are we?
When this is all being done, that's all on the developer.
That's the develop. That's what I thought. I just wanted to
Yep,
kind of like a matter of
sure.
to answer that question. So thank you.
Anything from Chad?
I have nothing.
Jane?
No, nothing.
Becky?
Nothing.
Nothing else from staff on this? No? All right, does anyone want to make a motion on this?
I would move that the action on Carrick Homes, Inc., developers agreement, related exhibits, and recommendation to the town board of the same be approved.
Is there a second?
Second?
Second by Chad. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimous. All right, item 5, clerk and planner updates.
Just clerk updates.
The clerk updates, yeah.
That's a lot, Dan.
Is he on vacation?
So we did have 6 planner appointments in the last about month and a half. 2 we have not heard from, but the big ones were the land crafters that they were in just now for their CUP major grading permit. We have a couple of site plan of operations that are coming forward. One is an extension to a commercial building down off of the commercial property by Lisbon Road and 74. Actually, both of those are in there. One is an additional storage area or a storage building for their business. And then we have a CSM combination for Mr. Finko. And somebody wanted a cold storage building put in for a site plan of operation for a landscaping business. That's right off of Town Line Road. I have not heard anything from them, so that's it.
All right, any questions on that? Item 6 is...
Can I just comment, I guess?
Yep.
We need to be careful with that landscape stuff. Because the guy on 164 is still a complete mess. Just north of Plainview Road on 164. There's still mounds of dirt and fill and, I mean,
Talking about
the mounds of dirt are 12, 13 foot high, and I'm talking berms. And now he's got a loader by the road with a now hiring banner that's got to be 12 by 6 feet.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just, someone's going to have to reel him in. But it's concerns like that that we got to watch when other landscapers come.
Sure.
And this gentleman already has a business,
Okay.
so he's trying to build a bigger building so he can store more from outside store to inside store. So
Okay.
he's trying to more or less clean up his area, I guess. But
All right. I have concern of other citizens when we okay landscape companies to go in these residential areas and they say, no, nothing's going to be parked outside. I'm going to be quiet. You won't even know there's a landscaping company there.
Chad, is this operation across from Songbird Hills?
Yes.
Okay.
Just a little south, I guess it would be, right?
Yeah, it's almost right there, though.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I actually don't commute that much on that road. I'll have to check that out.
yeah,
The closest one to me is Voss. It's still called Voss, but the activity in there is substantially reduced since Voss sold the property. Because I go by that every day. And
I don't want to veer too much off the agenda tonight either.
Yes,
so
sorry.
probably when we do our next inspections, we can bring it up and then decide whether we.
I just wanted to bring that up when I heard landscaping. It
Yeah.
concerns
No,
me.
that's-
yeah, sorry, Dan, that's a habit I have.
I was watching this so we didn't get into any factual or debate. I was ready.
Where's your gavel?
I just got the power pen. All right, item 6 is a request from members of any items we put on future agenda item, agendas?
No, you've got
Oh.
B, review site and cup site
That's right.
inspection.
We did send out an amended
It's
agenda.
amended.
So
We had a different agenda.
Well,
It was
that's the
amended.
first one, I know.
Yeah.
That's this one. See?
Yeah, but there's nothing, yours is different than mine.
Well, I know, this is the
no,
amended one.
I think I printed out your packet before I did the
Oh,
amended
so
agenda.
I don't have the right
so
one.
you don't have the right one. I apologize for that. Neither
is
I
the
don't
right
have it
one.
right up on my screen.
I'm the last
so.
guy to get it. So item B is review of site SPP, what the heck?
Site plan of operation.
Site plan of
plan of
operation and
operation.
CUP site inspections. I've never seen it on there like that.
Sorry. I was in a hurry, I guess.
That's all right.
All right, so we have anything to go over? I mean, Dan's not
Yes.
here.
Yes.
You got,
Does Ed,
Ed's got one?
I did, yeah. Well, Chad, you want to go first? I mean, it doesn't.
oh,
I guess I want a recommendation on where we want to go with this. Big City Limo is outrightly doing car detailing
Okay,
and advertising about it and a
Is it on
Facebook
there?
page and the whole works.
is it on their plan of operation? Well, they're gonna have to modify it then.
So I didn't confront him on it. I just did my research on
Is
it.
he a conditional use?
I'm not sure. You can keep talking. I'll
Sure.
look it up.
I mean, at minimum, he's gonna have to redo his plan of operation then.
Yeah. Because it's equaling more vehicles than what's stated in his plan of operation, and I'm not sure of hours, and
Sure. Well, that's something that can get updated then and
Is,
reviewed.
is that on Town Line Road or on Town Line? Okay. Yeah.
just out of the roundabout there.
Just
towards
off the
CJ's.
roundabout, yeah. Seems to be very flexible with the way he runs that business, to put it nicely. Okay. Let's see.
Anything else to report on that, or is that pretty much the?
I think it's just a site plan of operation.
Right.
So we'll just
I'll have
have
to
to
give
go
him
over
a-
that. Yeah.
Get in contact with him, tell him he needs to update it, and I'm sure he'll have to come back for the Plan Commission. Okay. Let's go next.
I had, which plan of operation would be for Sherwood Forest. And realistically, the material, we had just approved a little yurt or gazebo. I think the yurt is for cosplay.
Oh, you're right.
But
I'm
this
sorry.
was a little outdoor, and the material was there, they had not started on it yet. But the grounds themselves, the buildings, they haven't changed. I mean, the main update came with the new president, getting his name, his address, and a number. But I did, when I talked to Dan, when I submitted the form, I was a little concerned for them. Their membership is way down. And the president's name is Rob, he mentioned this. And they count in their membership people who come from the central and northern part of the state, so they're gonna get there maybe once or twice a year. But at one point in the 70s, apparently, or back in the 60s, they had a membership of over 1,000. They are now down to a little more than 110 to 120 members. So, but the grounds were, the buildings, I mean, looked well maintained. In fact, there was a member in there cleaning up the building when I got there. And that's what they do. Every member has a key, and they rotate those responsibilities. There was no trash sitting around, etc. So the grounds were well maintained. It's a beautiful site. I've never, I mean, it's like hidden, but there it is. So they passed.
All right. Any questions for Ed? Jane?
okay, I checked with the, I was at the Polo Barns, and that name has changed several times, I guess. Every time it got sold, they decided to call something new about it, as far as the name is concerned. But the owners live on the property, and I gave them the plan of operation form because that was And that was supposed to be due into the town by 6/18. Has that come into the town?
No, not yet.
Well, I think,
We'll have to give them a call.
we have to call then. It was James Stevens is listed, and who showed me around and talked to me is Natasha Stevens. I believe that's his wife. Anyways, there's a phone number here for her, etc. The animals and the fencing were in good repair and shape. The fire department checks them annually, and they also have state regulations as a stable that they have to follow. So it was well, but I'm a little bit upset that she didn't get this plan of operation in.
I'll call her.
Okay.
Follow up. Thank you.
And the old one's underneath it.
What's
Yeah,
that located
what's-
for, Jane?
What's the name of the operation, or what's the?
Iron Horse Polo Stables. So
Where's that located?
it's on, what is it? North Lisbon Road, almost right by the railroad track. In fact, their property is dissected by the railroad. They have land that they use for hay, et cetera, to the east, and then the stables.
Are they on the south side of the road?
They're on the south side
Okay,
of the
I
road.
know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. Yep.
And there's the house and the barns
Yep.
and different,
Right.
yeah,
Yep.
Occasionally.
yeah. So, no, it was very nice. Blacksmith was there, shoeing horses, and it was nice to go in a barn and smell horses again.
Did they offer Jane to give you a ride on a polo horse?
No, no. Well, when you've had horses and you don't have them anymore, it's kind of nice to do that. So, anyway.
Okay. Do we have any more?
No, I think it was just those.
All right, so we got, check out Big City, and then we need to make sure we get that
Plan of operation.
plan of operation.
Darn right.
Anything else I don't have on my agenda?
No. Request from members, request item, future agenda.
Item 6, request from members to request items on a future agenda. Anything?
No,
All
Mr.
right.
Chairman.
Item 7, adjournment.
So move.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Chad. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're out at 7:13.
Wow.